My name is Tommy. What's your names?
Leah.
Leah?
Ari. Shauna.
Shauna. Okay, so my friend Matt. And the question that we're asking people is, who do you think Jesus is and why? And you can just be totally honest. You're not going to make us mad.
We're all Jewish.
Okay, that doesn't mean that you can't have an opinion, right? You can still have an opinion about it. What do you think about Jesus?
He's my equal.
He's your equal.
Because he's also Jewish.
He is
also Jewish. So.
He is very, very Jewish. That's true. So you think that he was a real person. He was Jewish, but my guess is you don't think that he was the Mashiach, the Messiah. Why don't you think he was the Messiah?
Because if our world is like this with a Messiah, like that means like I'm low-key scared because like there's so many things wrong with the world that like I don't believe that like if God wanted it to this, like I don't believe that this is like the best world that it can be with a Messiah. So
Okay.
that's
Good
why.
answer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I don't really have a comment. I don't know anything. I don't know enough about this to comment.
You haven't heard much about Jesus?
I think I have, but I don't know. I'm Jewish, so I don't really like
Okay.
follow.
Well, can I offer a thought on that, on what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in a lot of my conversations with Jewish folks, they have said something like that if Jesus were the Messiah, then the world should be different. There should be world peace, right? Something like that. And that's one of the things the Messiah is supposed to do. The Hebrew scriptures say that the Messiah will usher in world peace. But the other thing to consider is that there are a number of other things that the Hebrew scriptures say about the Messiah that he's going to do. It talks about someone who is going to preach a new law to the whole world, right? That the Gentiles will put their hope in this person. In the book of Daniel's a Jewish prophet, and in the book of Isaiah, it talks about someone who will make an atonement for sin, right? And so this is someone who's going to not just bring in world peace, but he's going to do something to deal with sin. He's going to deal with the problem of selfishness, right? Mm-hmm. And so what I think Jesus does is he brings all of these things together. That Jesus came, he preached a message to the whole world, a message of righteousness, right? He died and rose again as an atonement for sin, just like the prophet Isaiah said would happen. And now we have an opportunity to respond to that before he returns and brings in world peace once and for all. He's going to come back, and anyone who doesn't listen to him and continues to live a selfish life, Jesus is going to remove them. He's going to remove them, and they're not going to be a part of God's kingdom. Right? What do you think about that?
That's like kind of mean.
Why do you think that's mean?
Because why would you kick someone out that's not world peace?
Well, if someone just
kick someone out for believing something else, that means he's not taking their account, and that's not peaceful. So.
Well, if someone ignores God, right?
Uh-huh.
If someone ignores the things that God teaches and commands us, and they just go on living a selfish life and doing whatever they want, do you think that God's just going to let them be a part of his kingdom anyway?
Well, if you don't believe in God, then I don't think they're going to believe in God's kingdom, so I don't think it really matters to them.
Well,
they're going to get kicked out of God's kingdom. If they don't believe in God, then there's no God's kingdom, so it's not their problem.
Well, God's kingdom is not a subjective thing, right? God's kingdom is something that's real, whether we believe it or not. And what Jesus is saying is that when he comes back, anyone who has not listened to him and learned to live the life of love that God made us for, they're not going to be welcomed into God's kingdom, right? The only people who are going to be a part of God's kingdom are people who learn to love their neighbor as themselves, who learn to love God with all of their hearts, right?
Yeah.
But if we just ignore God, and live for ourselves, we shouldn't expect to be a part of his kingdom.
then that's their choice. That's not my choice. That's not my problem. Like, it's not God's problem either if they don't believe in it. So he should just let people do what they want to do.
He does. He lets people do what they want to do. He lets people do what they want to do, but one day he's going to hold them accountable for that.
Yeah.
He's not just going to let us get away with things like sex trafficking and exploitation of the poor and greed and, cheating on your spouse and cheating on your taxes and pornography and all the things that we do behind closed doors.
Yeah.
One day we're going to be held accountable for those things.
Yeah.
And he offers to forgive us if we will turn from those things and listen to his Messiah.
Well, that's the people's choice if they want to live. They can be held accountable if they want to be held accountable. It's not like, yeah.
Do you believe in God?
I do.
Okay, do you believe in the God of Israel?
I didn't know what I was saying.
Are you implying that there's a different God of Israel than there is a God overall?
Well, some people, when I ask them that question, even if they're Jewish, they'll say, well, I believe in, what I believe, but some other people believe in another God, and none of them are more true than any other. And so what I'm asking is, do you believe that this is really true? Like the God of Israel is really the one true God, and anyone who doesn't believe in him, they're disconnected from reality. They're wrong, right?
I don't think we
We
don't
believe to the First Amendment right to religion. You can believe whatever
you
you
can
want.
No.
Not
Yeah, I'm not.
you saying that, like other people saying that if they don't believe in the God of Israel, then they're disconnected from reality. Then that's what that's what they think. But
Yeah, that's what they think. Yeah.
so it doesn't really affect other people.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm not asking if you think people should have the right to believe what they want. I'm asking if you think the God of Israel is real, whether people believe it or not. Does that make
The God of Israel. It's
Well, you're-
just God.
You're Jewish. Okay, fine. Do you really believe in God?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you believe that he actually parted the Red Sea and
Yeah.
all that actually happened?
Yeah.
People free. He was
Yeah.
courageous and bold.
Okay, well, you seem to be very, very casual about that. Like you don't seem to be taking it seriously at all.
To be fair, it is just a random Friday night we're eating ice cream. I don't live here. Like I'm
Yeah.
just trying to hang out with my friends. Like
Right.
Okay.
I expect them to be.
Because
Shabbat shalom.
Yeah, I mean, I think if Moses were here, he would probably be a little bit concerned about how.
Do you want us to get on our hands and knees and beg? I'm like really confused.
Not at all. All right.
Shabbat shalom.
Nice talking to you. Bye bye.